Back, and it is time to get into our interview segment, and we'll be talking about speed and precision. We're talking about relays. The World Relay Championships will be held in Yokohama, Japan, on the second weekend of May. But next weekend is when Kenya will be selecting the team that is going to represent the country at the World Relays. What are the events that Kenya wants to participate in? The 4x100 meter relay, can they do that? There is a 4x200 meter relay, the 4x400 meter relay for men and women in the mixed teams, and the distance relays have been done away with. So you're going to have a 2x2x400, and it sounds confusing. Then there's a shuttle hurdles relay. Still sounds crazy. That's the kind of entertainment that you'll see at the relays, all about speed. And to speak about it, on my immediate left, we've got Queen Hector Kisenga. She was running today. And Queen Hector, first of all, today's meeting at Nyayo, what's your take on it? Because you topped the 100 meters.
Okay. According to me, I felt good today. I was relaxed, and the race for me was fine, though not so good.
Why was it? Yeah, it can be fine and not so good. It has.
Okay, I didn't do exactly how I wanted to do it. Yeah, but I thank God that I just hit to top in the finals, and yeah, I appreciate that.
And for you, Peter, I know you've had athletes running here. You've coached Mark Cotier. No, we can. We've seen you coach people who've gone on to national titles. What's the state of the sprinters? Because she's here, you can actually analyze it independently.
She is one of them, the people that I've coached. And then, but she didn't run as she was expected.
Yeah.
But at the moment, the sprinters, the level of sprinting in Kenya was good last year, but at the moment, I don't think we're supposed to be where we're supposed to be because of the qualifying standards. So I think unless we do something very spectacular in the next 1 week, we might be very disappointed.
And getting down to the relays, we've seen Kenya participate at the World Relays. The 4x4 was always something every Kenyan wanted to see, but we've not made it inside the final 8 because the World Relays also act as qualifiers for World Championships and the Olympics. The 4x400 meter team last year, they won gold in Asaba, 3:00.92. Do we have the same standard at the moment?
When they ran in Asaba, I think that must have been June, July.
It was in August.
In August,
yes.
So that particular time they're at their peak of performance. So at the moment they're not at their peak because I think most of them have just finished doing their general preparation. So they might be doing 3:04, 3:05, but they've already qualified.
So 3:05 is a qualifying time for the men in the 4x400 meters, and 3 minutes 34.7 for the women's team. Last year, the fastest time, actually, by any Kenyan outfit was not the national team, but the police service. Your take on the current state 4x400 meter relay team that the women have?
As at now, it is okay. The ladies are not at their peak. So they're slower than how they used to be previously. They can't manage to make that time right now, but maybe in future, by the time we are going for the championships.
That is a week.
Yeah, right now it's not possible. I can say so because they are not in that good form, me included, let me say. Yeah, we're not in that good form right now because some of us are still in the loading phase. Yeah, and maybe some are rushing because of the relays. Yeah, so
preparations now, because your athlete says she's not in top phase.
Yeah, you have to decide what you're looking at. It's either you go for the relay, then do 2 peak, or you have 1 long season and go for the main peak at the end of the season. Yeah. So with her, I've decided to do a long season, main peak at the end of the season. So we are basically focusing on Africa and probably try to qualify for World Champs.
So at the end of it all, for the Kenyan men, they would qualify, and as one of the top 24 nations in the world. The Kenyan women, can they get a chance in the 4x4? Let's start with that one.
I think so. I think if you get the combination right, Siombo is running very well. Maxi will do a 52 any day. So we need 2 people. And Joan is running very well. So we just need 1 person who can do something close to a 53.
So you've just mentioned the National Police Service team.
They're the best. They're the best. They're the best.
Okay.
They're the best in both 4x4 and 4x1.
And 4x1.
Yeah, if you look at the team that got bronze in Africa, that was basically the police team.
And let's also talk about the 4x200 meter relay. In the last edition in the Bahamas, Kenya dropped the baton. And in the relays, it's not just about speed, it's a precision. How do you get, for example, Quinecta into the right, frame of mind at the exchanges?
One, they must enjoy the running. And first and foremost, you have to bring the team together. Basically, most of them come from different places. Some might be from civilians, KDF, police, or prisons. Mm-hmm. So when you pick your team, you have to unite them and they have to become one. And then apart from that, they have to enjoy the running. Most of the people make this mistake whereby they focus so much on winning or performing very well, they forget about the fun part. Really, it's supposed to be fun. As much as you're working so hard to win and the precision, you must have fun. When the pressure gets in your mind, that's it, you're done. And that is what happened in Kenya, and the preparation was not good enough, and the logistics didn't favor them.
And that was at the last event.
Yes.
And for you, at the moment, in a relay team, what has always been your biggest challenge to all those upcoming athletes? Anytime you meet them and you tell them it's a relay thing, what's your biggest challenge?
My biggest challenge as a sprinter, let me say, I've not been, previously, I was not getting the right people to lead me in that right direction. Yeah, as far as sprints is concerned, until when I got this coach here, because he understood what I really needed. Yeah, that was my biggest challenge. Coaching was my biggest challenge because I think most of our coaches are focusing on long and middle distance. Yeah, and they don't get the right mechanics and all that when it comes to sprints.
Let's talk about one event that has been introduced. It's the 2x2 by 400 meter relay. Let me simply explain it. You've got two athletes, one man and one woman. And this is what happens. It's either the man or the woman who starts that relay race. You do that one lap of 400 meters, hand over the baton to the next person. As you rest, it's not that you're done. She does a lap, back to you, and you do another 400 meter lap, give it back to her. So that rest period is usually about 45 to 50 seconds for each athlete in between the laps. Peter, that introduction of this relay, I know some people are saying, they want to finish us, they are trying to do this. It's an exciting event. How do you prepare an athlete for that?
You basically do that kind of intervals. So you have an athlete, let's say for instance, they're doing 144. So they have to do like 50 seconds, and then they rest for 45 seconds, 45 to 50 seconds, then they do another one, probably in 53, 54 seconds. That's how you prepare them. That's for men. But for women, they normally do the first lap in 55 to 56 seconds, and then 60 seconds. So you have to do that. So you can do that, and then you can rest for 8 to 10 minutes, then you do that again as at the second set.
And this is where it becomes tricky. So who do you pick here? Do you pick 400 meter runners or do you pick 800 meter runners? Given that the 800 meter relays and the 1500 meter relays or the medley relays have been done away with.
There was a very interesting scenario today. There was a lady who started today. I'm not going to mention her name. She did the first 400 meters, and then she did the first 400 meters like a race, the actual race, 400 meters. So when she was given the baton for the second part, she couldn't run as fast as the first one. So I think the best people to do these are 800 athletes and probably fast 1500 meters people, because you need to get a very good start. Otherwise, when the gap is too big, it's so hard to close it.
Well, I don't know why you're afraid of mentioning the name, and this was at a public event.
About the lady?
Yes.
That's the under 18 800 meters jump, one boy.
Yes.
She went way too hard on the first lap and faded on the second one.
So it's all about the management of that.
Yes. It's basically the fatigue management.
The 4x200 meters, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
If you were to get involved in it, it's one where you have to run hard throughout, because this is now pure speed, but the precision. Where do you think Kenya would fit when it comes to that, the 4x200 meter relay?
I think Currently, they are not that much into it. As in, the speed that they have right now, or we have right now, is not matching that game right now. Yeah.
So just pick 4 athletes who you'd have in a 4x200 meter team.
Ladies, that is?
Yes.
I would pick Max
Does
Miller.
that include her?
Yeah, it's
I will pick Max Miller, Joanne,
Yeah.
Cherono, and Kadogo Eunice, and who? Milsen Doro, and myself.
As the reserve. What about the 4x2 for men?
4x2 for men. The first one would be Fadi, that's Omanyala, Chege, what's this guy's name? The guy who won 100 meters.
Samuel Chege.
Samuel Chege. Then there's he was in junior under 20s.
The Matayo, somebody.
Matthew.
Matthew, yeah.
And
where would you fix Collins Omai because he's got the experience of that?
4x4.
4x4.
And he can do any of them. He can do 4x4 or 4x2.
All right.
Yeah.
And let's move on to the men's 4x4. Who would you pick?
That's interesting because I think our best 400 runners are not in Kenya at the moment. So if I'm allowed to pick people outside, I'll pick Emmanuel Korir, Saruni. I'll pick those 2 from outside and pick 2 from inside. So I'll have Kishoyan and I'm picking 6, not 4, right?
Okay. Yep.
So those 3, then Collins Omaya, this guy went to Africa.
Momani.
Jared.
And Haron.
And Aaron
Aaron
Koech. All right. And then, for you, the women's 4x4, which one would you pick? I mean, you already picked Team Police, the National Police Service team. Would you have any other person in that team?
In 4x4, maybe still just police.
Just police.
Yeah.
They're the best.
They're the best. Yeah, they're the best.
So there's no competition. The National Police Service team, we hope to see you next weekend at Kasarani. Now, this is going to be a long season, especially for the 400-meter runners. How would you handle your season? Because you've got the World Relays, then you've got the African Games and the World Championships coming, in just about a week. How would you handle your season?
Okay, my focus is not on the World Relays. I'm focusing on the championship, the main championship that is Africa and the World Championships. Yeah, so I'm working towards that. And my coach here knows how to deal with that because when I'm picking my shape, he knows how he'll control it until I get to that.
All right, Peter, handling the 400-meter runners, because that's going to be the biggest challenge for the Kenyans. You can't mix hurdles, relays in this season because of the calendar of the World Championships, because of the mixed relays. That's a factor to consider, and the African Games. How would one handle the season? Do we have the depth also?
I don't think so. After Bet left, there's a big gap in hurdles, and Musheru has been injured, so I don't think we have the depth. In that, if we decide to go that way, we need to have 6 people who are doing faster than 45.5 to survive in that, and I don't think that is possible. So in that case, we need to sacrifice few races to get the best out of it. And as a coach, I don't concentrate so much on the relay. I focus on the individuals. Yeah.
All right.
Individual race.
Thank you very much, Peter, and hope to see you next weekend. Are we going to have a very good team for Yokohama?
From me?
No, from the athletes who are going to be selected by K.
I pray that we have the best.
All right. Are we going to see a strong women's team coming up? Qualifying?
Probably.
All right. We will see. Just 2 events of qualifying times, the 4x100 meters and the 4x400 meters. The others are basically by invitation with up to 24 teams or nations being invited. So we've been speaking to Quinecta Kisembe. She's a sprinter. she won the 100-meter race today. And Peter Gatana, a coach, he's involved in the sprints, and it's been a focus on the relays. Next weekend, Team Kenya to Yokohama will be selected. Let's see if what has been said here will match with what happens at Kasarani. I am Daniel Wahome. It's been a pleasure. Back to you, Jackie.